Okay, well, so I had a wild hair last week, and I decided I was going to...
It's right there.
It's well, actually, it's on my eyebrows.
Your eyebrow, yeah.
One eyebrow would look like an old college professor. I decided I was going to start trying my hand at small batches, because I've been talking about doing that for, I talk a big game, and I just haven't done it. So I was like, you know what? I got a crap ton of Munich 10 down here in my basement. It's like, what can I brew with Munich 10? So I started looking, and then I finally landed on just using some 2-row, some Munich 10, and a couple, like some crystal as well. I'll get to the recipe here in a second. And I had a bunch of hops that I did, some Magnum and Cascade, and just threw a beer together. And that's the first time I kind of ever did that, and it's kind of fun.
So when we say small, how small?
It was this, so that's part of the funny stuff, is that I was going to do a gallon, and then, as I want to do, a gallon? Oh, that's not even worth the job. I'm going to do 2 gallons. So, and therein starts the foibles. So I have an electric burner stove, and I have a 10-gallon pot that it's like my secondary pot that I'm brewing. And I was like, well, let's see if this is, I want to see if this actually will come to a boil on the stove. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. And so I was like doing the 2 gallons, and I did the mash, and everything started boiling. Did not boil. And I'm like, well, fudge. So I took it outside, and I boiled it outside. So the one big mistake that I made is that I accounted for half a gallon of boil off inside, thinking there's no wind. It should be, let's say half a gallon, right? So then I took all that mess outside, and of course I was in my garage on my propane, and it was blasting away, windy day, and instead of hitting my target gravity of, 1063, it was like 1081. So it was significantly over, and it took me a little bit to figure out what exactly happened. So working the Beersmith magic calculators, I added a half gallon of some water, and it took it down 1054. I was like, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to worry about getting too close to 1063, because I was kind of big anyway.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of a comedy of, not necessarily errors, but a comedy of Jesseisms, I guess, maybe. But yeah, that was
just some hurdles.
So yeah, some hurdles I had to overcome. So I'm going to do this, maybe not the same recipe again. I mean, I have the recipe, and I could do it again, but I'll be doing it next time. I'll just do a 1 gallon batch, be done with it. My wife has a stock pot, like a 2.5 gallon stock pot. That'd be perfect for a 1 gallon batch. I'll just do that. And I did some experimentation yesterday, since I had a lot of time on my hands this week. And I filled up with 2.5 gallons to make sure it was 2.5 gallons of water. It was. Brought that to a boil. Let's see, I brought it up to like 155-ish degrees in, 10 or 15 minutes, and then from there to a boil in like 10.
Yeah.
So,
I think the really large pot just vents too much heat off of it.
Well,
you got such a big area that's exposed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the problem is that the burner was like, say, yay big, and the pot's like yay big, so only half the pot was on the burner.
Yeah.
So it had to compensate for.
Well, plus it's tall though too.
And it was, it's tall. So.
Because I did that once with my 7.5 gallon pot. Tried to boil a couple gallons of water on the stove, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I've got a smaller one, like something like he said. Like I think mine might be like a 3 or 4 gallon though, but like a big stock pot. And
and that's because I was looking at prices for stock pots after that for obvious reasons, and they're more expensive than I think they ought to be.
Yeah.
So just for like a 3 gallon, 5 gallon stock pot, and they want like $80. What? So I found a couple for $20. Actually, More Beer has one for $20. I was really shocked.
What did it come with?
Well, that was the one I was telling you about. It was I was looking at Erlenmeyer flasks.
Uh huh.
And
we'll post a link to it right here too.
Yeah. And just for fun, I went out and looked at the 5-liter one. I currently have a 2-liter one. I was like, well, that's the 5-liter one. And it's $60. Okay, fine. And they recommend that you do like a double boiler type of setup. So put the flask in a pot of hot water to heat the wort in there, the starter wort. And they said, yeah, this would be perfect for if you want to use our pot here. And it provided a link, and I clicked on that. And I was like, oh man, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Not necessarily do a starter, but just to do a small batch. So.
Oh, and didn't they have like a combo deal where if you buy the flask, you get the pot for free?
Yep. And it's you get $15 off.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was a much better deal than I expected. Walmart to be a lot cheaper than more beer, but nope, that's the cheapest I've found so far.
So, where are we looking at for hops?
So
I'm going to guess it's C hops.
Mostly, yep, yeah, because that's what I had a lot of left over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's. So the hops, we'll just jump right to it. So like I said, it's a 2-gallon batch, so keep that in mind when you're hearing that. So I did 0.45 ounces of Magnum, 14.7% alpha acids at 60 minutes. Yeah, I was like, get that bitter and shit out of the way. But then I did like 0.19 ounces of 10.7 Centennial at 30, 5.8 Cascade, 1.2 ounces of Cascade 5.8 at 30. I did another 1.2 ounces of Magnum, that same Magnum, the 14.7 at 30. And then a quarter of an ounce of the Cascade 5.9 at Flame Out. So the reason I did the Magnum the way I did was I think I was trying to not get all of the bittering, like really hammered, because this is what I had to do because I scaled up from 1 gallon. 1 gallon I had everything was perfect. And I was like, let's do 2 gallons. And I'm like, oh crap, I don't have enough of this. So I kind of split the high alpha acid hop between the bittering and the flavor.
Flavor, just so you get the have enough for flavor and aroma.
Yeah. And I think it worked okay.
Yeah, and fine. No dry hops.
No.
Okay.
I don't dry hop.
Okay, and this was no chill, right?
It was no chill. So I put it in my 5-gallon cube no chill container, and that worked great. I just put it in there and shook it up just to make sure I get all the bugs eradicated. And yeah, obviously it was cool in like 2 hours. I could pitch yeast then, and it cooled down I think quite a bit. I left it in my garage so it was cold. So
yeah. Right now it's been like 40 during the day and 20 at night.
Yeah, so
or lower. Yeah,
but that worked really well. As far as the grain bill, the malt bill, it was I did 2.5 pounds of 2-row, 1.5 pounds of Munich 10, 6 ounces of Crystal 120, and then I was like, yeah, I was good with that. And then I was sitting in my kitchen waiting for the water to come up to mash temp, see if I was going to work. And I was looking at my pantry, and I saw a big container of oats. I was like, hey, I can do that. So I threw 4 ounces of flaked oats in there too, or rolled oats, flaked oats. Whatever. Yeah. So yeah, and then I used like 7 grams, like a little package of USO5 that I had opened to try to make some mead, and I just threw that in there, about 7 grams or so, and it was done fermenting in maybe 2 days.
Yeah,
took a little while. There was a lot of lag, if I recall, but once it started, it took off, and then it was done. I may have kegged this a little bit too early because it was done. And I'm like, well, I took a little taste when I took the gravity reading. I was like, is that gravity? And it tastes fine. Put it in the keg. So,
well, anyway, he warned me it'd be undercarbed, and it is a little It is undercarbed.
Yep.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got a bit of a hop harshness to it, but at the finish mostly. But and it's cold. It's really cold.
It's really cold.
Yeah.
It is.
And like his keezer's in the garage like mine. And like I said, with cold weather, it gets really cold. So
yep.
Yeah. So, but I mean, otherwise, it's solid.
I was surprised at how it turned out. Honestly, so I tasted it a little bit earlier today, and I thought I got some diacetyl. So, and I think I'm more sensitive to that
maybe
than
a little.
You are. So, but whatever.
It's not slick, so it can't be too much.
Yeah, no, it was just that kind of flavor.
Yeah.
And I think if I'd have just let it finish doing its thing and let it sit there for a little while, a little bit longer, another day or two, probably would have gone away. But, oh well.
Yeah. And like you said, it's real young, so it could smooth out, pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, small batches are great, though.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I talk about doing small batches all the time, and I never do.
You wind up doing 10-gallon batches.
Yeah. So I do also need to do small batches, but I've got like bags of leftover hops in my freezer. I'm like, I should just start knocking out smash beers, and we could do episodes on what the hop tastes like, because we did a smash beer as a group, and everyone had a different hop, and it was really neat just to taste them side by side and really know what that hop is like. The C hops we pretty much have covered. I mean, I couldn't tell you which one to pick if you wanted grapefruit over orange, but but those are all pretty much citrus or pine. Where some of the ones were weird, like what was the one I used that smelled like old lady feet or something?
I don't know.
I can't. It's some French hop, and I'll find the link and hopefully put it in there. I don't know I think we did an episode on it, but if so, I'll put the link down there. But what I was interested in is he found out that the distilled water containers that he's been buying have a HDPE rating printed on the bottom.
Yep.
And I looked today, and the distilled one I have also says HDPE on it. So I wonder if you could no chill in those.
I don't see why you couldn't, because once I told you that, you made the wise recommendation that it's like, you might want to try that out before you actually put
some boiling water
water and put in there. I didn't do that when I was testing the size of the kettle or the pot, because I'm a dummy. So I forgot all about it until I dumped it. I was like, oh, I should have put that in my but I put some like very hot water, like 150-ish degrees, and it was fine.
The only thing I could see being a problem with it is because that lid's just push on. So it popping it right off.
Oh, I think you might be thinking of a different one. The one that looks like a milk
yours
jug.
is a screw one.
It's
huh?
a screw
one.
one.
Okay. The one I have is just a push on. I think.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know which ones you're talking about. So, and the only reason I considered those is because there's some that you buy of those, and they're paper thin. I don't think I'd trust those. But these are actually surprisingly hefty. They're kind of thick. So, I don't know. I'll let you know. I'm planning on doing a 1-gallon batch here pretty soon or something. I don't know what.
And I'd seen on Amazon, they look like the radiator fluid containers, but those are 1 gallon. And, obviously they didn't have radiator fluid in them. They're, clean containers.
I got one of those in the garage.
It's delicious. Yummy. I thought about getting a couple of those. But I think 2 gallon would probably be my sweet spot, just because you can't really do a gallon. You get the gallon fermenters, but you can only do like 3/4 of a gallon.
Right.
If you're going to leave some room for blow off. And,
Yep.
So I don't know.
And that's why I started getting kind of greedy. I was like, well, if it's a gallon, I'm only going to get like a 6-pack out of that. And really, is it worth the trip? And so, I don't know. I need to just be disciplined and just do the gallon and see how that works out. And again, give it a try. So, one other interesting little bit of trivia for this beer is I got all prepared the night before for, okay, got a plan in my head, and I think I milled the grains and everything the night before, and I went to bed, and I was like, oh, I forgot I set up an appointment for blood donation in the morning. I was like, son of a crap. So what I wound up doing was I got up like really early for just not related to this. I mashed in, and then I went to do my blood work, and then or not blood work, but donated a pint. Came back home and pressed on. I was like, I can mash for 2 hours. Who cares?
Oh yeah.
It's no big deal. So so I named the beer Down a Pint.
Down a Pint, very good.
So Down a Pint, and I'm Down a Pint.
It's a name, and you can
So,
name and directions.
Exactly. So anyway, so that was. I thought that was an interesting little adventure into small batch brewing for my first one.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, came out good too.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. We'll see how it turns out. But and that's I guess the best part of the small batch is it doesn't turn out.
You're only out a gallon.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple recipes I brewed that just weren't good, and I got 5 gallons of them.
What do I do? Yeah. Or something happened. I mean, I just dumped 2 5-gallon batches because there was just something wrong with them. I don't know what. And they just tasted like burnt rubber. I know it wasn't an autolysis. I know what you're thinking. Huh. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, dump it out, clean the keg. I don't know why. But
I had a bunch of beer that spoiled in my airlines. One of my kegs blew a bunch of beer back through it.
Ooh.
And I didn't figure it out until I started pulling the lines apart.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So I need to get some check valves. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they're not expensive. They're worth whatever they cost. They're probably worth it.
Probably.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, well done.
Anyway, yeah, thanks. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So if you got stuff you brew in small batches or have tips for small batches, let us know.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments, anything else, go ahead. Click below. Type in your comment, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Till next time, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching our video. Check out our website at coloradobrewtalk.com for more great content.
While you're there, be sure to leave us a comment or drop us a line with your thoughts.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at CO Brew Talk, or follow the links below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content.
Or episodes. As the case may be.